What is going on, guys? Welcome to our Finance Tuesdays. I hope you're having a great week. We're going to be talking about the three common mistakes that we make with our finances. And I'm going to be pretty transparent during this video, just tell you my struggles, how I've overcome them, and hopefully it helps you guys out. The first one is financial literacy. I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't care about finances for a lot of my 20s. Like I knew about Dave Ramsey and having emergency savings. I knew about getting out of debt, but putting it to practice wasn't my strong suit. Until I got to my late 20s, I started learning more about finances with life insurance, with savings, and with getting out of debt. And ever since then, I'm more stable today. I have a lot of my savings in life insurance. I have an emergency savings as well. But I recognize that financial literacy has played a big part in that development. If I didn't read books on how to build, financial freedom, how to get there, what I need to be doing right now and taking those steps. You see, what I would do is I would pursue something and I would always constantly buy products. I pursued spoken word. It was cool, but I wasn't saving any money. And I didn't realize early on I should have been saving instead of buying these products to help me with my, spoken word. Even when I published a book, I used credit card to, get the services. And that wasn't a good idea because I should have just not overextended myself. Did I sell books? Yes, but did I make a profit? No. So I think for me, early on during this process, as I was learning, I was realizing, okay, I gotta save now, and I gotta make sure I store my savings. And I was saving a little bit, but I was putting it in a place where you would pay taxes. So I took the money out, put in a life insurance policy, and I have a forced savings plan with a life insurance policy. And I continue to save in that policy every single month. And I look back 4 years afterwards, I'm like, wow, I'm glad I started that process because, there's more stability. Even though we're not completely out of debt yet, all the credit card debt's done, my car payment's done. By the time I arrive at this stage next year, I should have my wife's car paid off and in Sallie Mae paid off, and all we'll have left is federal loans to pay off. So to me, I'm very grateful to learn about finances, and I already know my next steps even after I get out of debt because I have a blueprint. So one of the common mistakes that we make is that we're not financially literate. We don't have enough knowledge, and we don't pursue it because we think like, okay, I just got to get a job, collect a paycheck, get a 401k, and I'm good. When there's more to it than just that. And I would challenge you to really learn about finance, go deeper, and try to understand where to put your money, where to keep your money, and where to not leave your money. That way you can be financially free because you don't want to be tied down just to a 9 to 5. It's not fun. It's something you don't want to keep doing because you have more to offer. The next mistake I would say is, what career are you pursuing? It took me a while to figure out what I wanted out of life. When I came out of college, I was working as a dispatch, didn't work out. Then I went to work as a research analyst for this company where I would just search up data, give it to my boss, and that was it. It was a very boring job, but I stayed there for 18 months. Company let me go because I got bought out. Then I moved to Florida. Then I started knocking on doors in sales, and that's where I started finding what I enjoyed. I enjoyed selling, and it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to sell. So it took me probably, I would say, 3 years. Then I was like, I want to go into an insurance because I was doing roofing as well. And I enjoyed, selling roofs, but it just wasn't going to work out for me. I didn't, like being on the roof. I started to develop some fear because I slipped one time on the roof and it just really hurt my confidence going forward. So I ended up switching careers. But, there's a process when you're, in a career because you're going to go through some trials and tribulations and you got to, weave out the things you don't want, the things you do want. And the earlier you find that out, the better you are because now you've learned at 25, hey, I want to go into marketing, and now you get to build that skill. Whatever stage you find yourself in, it's okay. I'm not going to criticize you if it took you a while because it took me until I was like 27 to finally realize, okay, I want to go into sales. I want to do this long term. And again, it does take time to build a skill. So let's just say you learn something by 30, it might take you 5 years to really master it. So be patient with the process, go through it. There are going to be ups and downs. Ever since I've been in Medicare, this has been my third job in Medicare, and I've been at this company for over a year. I'm grateful for it. I've been performing and doing well. However, there were some ups and downs during that process of working in insurance. So realize, when you're going through this career path, there could be some challenges along the way, but as long as you stick to it and continue to hone your craft and work at it, you're going to reap the benefits. The last mistake that we make with our finances is having a short term perspective when it comes to our money. We don't think long term when it comes to savings, when it comes to investing. We don't think 40 years, 50 years down the road when it comes to our money right now because we're in the moment. We want to enjoy our life. And I'm not against going on vacations. I am not against buying nice things. I'm not saying that. But if you're in a predicament where you have debt to take care of, knock that out as fast as possible, because you don't want to be in your 50s and 60s still paying things off. You want to be stable. You want to be investing at that time. You want to make sure that you have good skills. And if you are looking at your money going, okay, I just want to enjoy my life, I'm going to splurge all the time, I'm not going to save anything, it's a bad idea. Because if you start, realizing when you're 40 or 50 that I have no savings, and when I'm retired, I won't have anything to show for it, you don't want to do that to yourself. Because again, we only have so many working years. So I know I'm 33 now. I only have so many working years left. So I would say probably 20 plus good years of working. And then I want to start to settle down. So I got to make, especially these next 7 years, count before I turn 40. I recognize, okay, after Sally Mae and car payments done, I know I got to replace my car. I also know we're going to have kids. So I got to make sure they're taken care of. And on top of that, we got to take care of our federal loans. I want all that done by the time I'm 40. And the reason why I'm looking at it that way, because when I'm in my 40s, I can start investing. I can start, having passive income. But if I'm not looking at in a long-term view, and I'm looking short-term, like, oh, I'm just going to enjoy my life, I'm going to do whatever I want and not, be responsible, not be aggressive with my savings, not build skills like YouTube and sales, then, it is what it is. And that's not a good look. You want to make sure you are looking way down the road, plan ahead, make sure you're intentional every single week and with all of your paychecks, because you're going to only have so many. You don't want to live just on Social Security. I'm telling you right now, it is a miserable life. I deal with those kind of clients every day. They are miserable. They have a lot. And again, some of them have gone through some unfortunate circumstances. Some have made poor financial decisions. And now they are facing the consequences, unfortunately. So when you recognize, okay, if all I have left at 65 is Social Security checks, I need to make sure I have other income coming in. I need to make sure I have savings. I need to make sure I'm solvent. Get a sense of urgency right now. Don't have a short term outlook on your finances, because if you do, I'm telling you, it's going to burn you in the end. So those are the three common mistakes. I know my 20s, I didn't save enough. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I didn't really think about it. It was very important. But if I go back to my 20s, I would have done a lot of things differently when it comes to where I wanted to go. But I don't regret it at the same time, because I wouldn't have this perspective now. So I'm grateful for that. So if you've made mistakes, understand there's still time to make up for what you didn't do correctly. Don't live in regret. Don't beat yourself up. Just look at where you're at and go, okay, what can I do right now? What can I control? What can I do to move forward so I can be financially solvent, more literate, and put myself in a position where I'm not struggling on just living on a paycheck. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think about the common mistakes you see in finances. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.